Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
This is the Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing podcast. Coming up, Queen gets stuck in car boot, Lego as a weapon, the UK Grand Prix, Johnny Depp, and that's all I'm allowed to say because Big Si said so. And I mustn't mess with his scheme. Vinny, do you think I'll get away with that? Yeah, that's what I felt a bit. Anyway.
Sounded like Chewbacca from miles away.
Was that
Chewbacca falling?
Yes, it's hard to know if it's Chewbacca in the distance or Vinny right by my shoulder. Is it Vinny near or Chewbacca far? You, the jury. That's a great new radio item. Enjoy.
Radio X.
They're talking about the new James Bond,
yeah.
which is the speculation pre, during, and after Bond. I'm not getting Bond fatigue.
It's almost as tedious as transfer speculation, isn't it?
I'd say it's much more tedious. Miles more
Really?
than even
More
the Man United.
tedious than transfer?
Even the new Man United manager, I'd say it's more tedious than that. Do you know what? I know I give it to Daniel Craig every time. But I know he thinks he's a great Bond, but he's a really annoying character. This guy that I'd rather slit my wrists than play the man every single man on earth would like to be.
It makes you feel silly for liking it.
It does, yes. I think it does.
That's true. Yeah.
And considering, look, he's not exactly classy. When Bond came in the books, he's driving a Bentley Sports in the books and playing Baccarat and Chemin de Fer.
Yeah, Chemin de Fer.
Chemin de Fer. And you know what he ends up doing? Losing at Texas Hold'em and driving a Ford. So let's not get all flash about it, all right?
Yeah.
We've seen what you've done. In the first one, I know I bang on about this a little bit, but if you haven't heard this rant, here's the point. Casino Royale, he's not very good at Texas Hold'em. And so I just sponge a load of money off the Americans.
That's not very Bond, is it?
No. And then his girlfriend drowns in a house. I mean, how unlucky.
That is.
I mean, I've heard of a lot of people being unlucky with birds.
The house sinks.
The house sinks. Then we get to the next one. He can't save a boutique hotel in Peru while trying to for some reason irrigate the place, which is way out of what I'm paying what the taxpayer is giving money to MI6 for. It's not to sort out a boutique.
It's not part of their remit.
It's not to sort out boutique hotels in Peru and destroy them.
What about when he wants to hide the head of MI6?
They ask him to look after the head of MI6. What does he do?
Takes it to an open field with a house in the middle of it.
He drives the length of Britain in a DB5.
That's right, quite
We're talking about a
conspicuously.
distinctive vehicle. But all and then she's the head of MI6. And what's she got to do? Just turn a note when you're walking at night in the middle of nowhere. Don't turn a torch on.
Yeah, don't do that, yeah.
I mean, you should just take it for a cruise or something. Or just stuck on a National Express. Anyway, the point is, he's not that good. Anyway, my point is why is it only James Bond when we talk about recasting? That's my point. Why isn't every year the new Rambo up for a thing? Who's going to be Rambo?
The next Del Boy.
Yes, it could be like James Corden is going to be Rambo. He's tipped to play Rambo. And then I suddenly thought, well, let's take it a bit wider here. Who's going to be like the new Simon Cowell in Britain's Got Talent? Because he's very much a character. And the new Amanda Holden. So they go, Simon, what did you think? We cut someone who's blatantly not Simon Cowell. We're going, that's not Simon Cowell. I go, no, it's the new Simon Cowell. It's the new Simon Cowell. He acts like him.
They should do it with Royal Family as well.
Yes.
You know, someone gets to be the Queen
Yeah,
or
the
king.
new Prince
Because
Charles.
at the moment, it's been nepotism for years.
exactly.
It's whoever they're related
because,
to.
Because they're not allowed to say what they like anyway. So you may as well just give them a script.
That's right, and an actor.
It's all scripted.
You're right.
And they train for life at like a Royal Academy and we just get new ones in.
Yeah, because it seems fixed otherwise,
Yeah, it
doesn't
just seems a bit fixed. You just look at kids that just sort of seem, I don't know, like they really enjoy being babies. You
Yeah.
sort of think, okay, you can make it as a royal. Yeah. You can have people dress you and stuff and, you know.
Thanks.
When Prince Charles lies down while his dresser is putting his trousers on and stuff, like, putting his tie on, it's like your kid's first day at school.
Go on, push your feet.
Nice smart tie.
This is Radio X.
Sorry, just shuffling my papers. I've got to be a bit careful here because I bought a cream tea from downstairs in the canteen, the one that also does really nice piping hot cans of Coke, and I've got now jam that's leaked off it. I used the Daily Telegraph. It was on top of the newspaper pile as I came down to the studio, and for some reason I decided to use that as a tray, and I put this plate with my scone on it with jam, and everything just rolled in. So now I've got jam on my phone, and also I've got a glasses case.
It's like the kipper smell that won't go away.
Yes,
you get that stickiness everywhere.
Oh, man, once you get a bit of jam, you just don't lose it all day.
You always think it will happen to somebody else.
Yeah. is the phrase that pays. Glenn just finding a punch from nowhere. I bolted out of nowhere. But Glenn, I'm just saying, I will be now. Look, I've got this glasses case. I'll just show you. It's from the C Concept range of glasses. They're a concept reading glass.
Right.
But I've just got, look on the back there, a bit of jam on that felty
On the
under.
felty, yeah.
I can't figure out if that'll ever come out.
You'll have to
No,
destroy
because
it.
it's a paste on fur,
Is it?
essentially. That's quite a furry
It
texture.
is. Oh
to
no,
the
it's a
glasses case.
stain for life.
Yeah.
Okay, got a bit of a story for you here. You know, they just love to they forever love to undermine wine snobs by being, and yet carry on being wine snobs in the Times, yeah?
Right.
But they love to belittle the craft and old world purpose. You know,
Right.
so this is a bit of a crisis in the food scene because wine's getting a lot of flack at the moment. Check this. The cellar master of Dom Perignon blends Chardonnay and Pinot Noir and allows the champagne to age for 7 years in barrels. Not far from the Abbey where a Benedictine sorry, I doubt it. That's our mum up there. Yeah, to all of them. It's like a queen bee in a monitor. Anyway, he laid out the first principles of making champagne. But get this, paragraph 2. You ready? So there's all that skill, the years, the history. This is everything scientists hate. Yeah, this is what they hate. This is what they look at that, like traditionally thinking, how can we just do that mindlessly?
In a week, yeah.
2 bioengineering graduates in San Francisco claim to be able to do the same in 15 minutes with chemicals bought from a wholesaler and no grapes.
I said a week for a joke. 15
No,
minutes.
I know. I don't think I've ever seen such contrast between craft and technology. The cellar master of Dom Perignon blends Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, allows the champagne to age for 7 years in barrels, not far from where a Benedictine monk laid out the first principles of the craft.
Oak barrels.
It's
no
like
less.
like a record scratch sound effect at the end of the paragraph.
Yes.
It
It's
is,
just,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then 2 bioengineering graduates in San Francisco claim to be able to do the very same thing in 15 minutes with chemicals and no grapes.
Then the movie trailer starts.
Yes. God, I'd love to try some of their stuff. That's what I mean. Well, it can't be that easy. They can't replace.
It can't be.
No, we can make champagne. It's just as good as Dom Perignon. Just use these chemicals, bucket, mix it all out. It's fine. Don't know why they pay all that money.
Radio X.
But Gav, have you got a hero for us?
I do.
Then you serve it up, boy.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
Gav, would you prefer me to call you son or boy during the show? I'm just trying to think of some sort of patronising thing. Go on, you do the hero, son.
One or the other.
No, you do the hero, son.
Okay, I will.
I hate that when people sun you off.
I
Danny
know,
Dyer,
yeah.
Danny Dyer always does it to people.
Yeah, even when they're younger than you.
No,
Yeah.
I've seen it to like a 60-year-old guy. You right, son? You can Gav.
Okay, today's hero is a man called Marian Godina.
Okay.
He's a Romanian traffic policeman. This is a story in the paper today.
Yeah. A Romanian traffic policeman.
Yeah. Now, what he did was he had a habit of posting his more amusing encounters with traffic situations on his Facebook account.
Funny moments in traffic.
Just things like that.
Yeah.
And he had this situation with a councillor from the government who narrowly missed a pedestrian on a crossing. So he pulled him over.
He's in a car.
Correct.
He's
yeah.
not a pedestrian
Yeah.
himself. Yeah.
Yeah, Marian Godina was on his feet. So he pulled him over to say, you've just narrowly missed a pedestrian there, and he was going to give him a telling off or a ticket.
Do you think if you were a policeman, would you pull someone for that? For narrowly missing someone?
It depends how dangerous your driving is, doesn't it?
I don't know. I thought Romanian police would be better occupied than near misses.
Well, anyway, what happened was this councillor tried to get him sacked and called him insolent. And
Really?
So he posted the encounter between them on his Facebook account, and the councillor had to resign.
Yes.
So I love a bit of revenge.
Oh, I love that. A little victory. That's a
From the
massive
underdog, yes,
Yeah,
brilliant.
but also,
Romania is mired in corruption.
Yeah.
And
you don't know that, Gav. You can't make statements like that.
you're joking. The president just had to resign, Victor Ponta,
Why?
over sincere billions of euros of
Oh,
corruption.
Gav, I can't believe you believe you're still lapping up all that Western propaganda. Seriously, I can't believe you just eat it up, don't you? Oh, yeah, he's a really corrupt guy. Go on.
Anyway, they had demonstrations. All his Facebook followers and his fellow traffic officers,
Yeah.
all demonstrated because he was going to get sacked.
Yeah.
And in the end, the councillor got sacked.
Nice. Shall I tell you something? I once went to a football game in Bucharest. I went to see Steaua Bucharest versus the University of Craiova. And one of them is supported by the army almost entirely. This is back in the old days.
Right.
And one of them was supported entirely by the police.
Really?
And we went to the stadium and there's just police on one side sitting there and army. And it got really, really violent. I was thinking, what happens here? We're in the crowd. And it's
what happens?
No, it's just it was just like a few football hooligans amongst policemen and army with hooligans going, come on then! Well, except in Romanian, they weren't cockneys.
Wow.
But it was this most bizarre build-up to a sort of violence at football. So I was thinking, well, who's going to sort it out?
That's a toxic cocktail.
We've got the army and the police here. What happens in a riot now? I don't know. And also, if the police the army and the army police the police, is that still a riot or is that now a battle?
The army aren't allowed to do things unless there's martial law, are they?
No,
So.
I don't know, Gav.
But I think legally speaking, the police were allowed to be in charge there, weren't they?
Yes. I don't know, Gav. I mean, we've all at football at one time. Who hasn't sat at the football and thought we could start a civil war here? Who hasn't thought that? But on this occasion, I did think to myself, actually, this could kick off. Gav, who's our hero?
Marianne Godina.
Marianne Godina. The Johnny Vaughan 4 till 7 thing salutes you. Thanks, Gav. Cracking hero.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
Gav, you've been a keen gardener.
I don't mind it. I do them. I mow the lawn. I have one of those old push mowers, with the blades that go across.
That's not gardening.
Isn't it?
No.
What is it?
That's man, machine, shed, different thing.
Isn't it?
No, gardening's is actually...
Troweling the beds.
That's
and
lawning.
It is. It's lawn.
Yeah, and it's more because it's satisfying.
Yeah, it is really satisfying.
Yeah. It's like the hoovering for me is not technically housework. That falls into ironing.
Right.
And dusting and cleaning. But I don't mind just a hoover around the place. It's all right.
Yeah, it's easy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Anyway, Britain is suffering from a lost generation of gardeners.
A whole generation?
Yes, baby boomers have not got into it, apparently.
At all?
Yeah, nice.
I think it's down to your parents, isn't it?
I don't know, but it says here, people in their 20s, 30s and 40s, because their baby boomer parents did not bother to teach them how to garden.
I know what it is. I've
What?
worked it out.
What?
People of that generation can't afford a house big enough for a garden.
It could be. But gardens owned by people in this age group were likely either to be neglected or treated as outdoor living rooms with decking, patios and barbecues.
Yeah.
I think it's right, we just see it as an outdoor room.
Hot tubs.
I like we got the garden, don't worry, we're going to just cover that with decking.
Yeah.
We're going to give it floorboards.
It is floorboards.
You're just putting floorboards
Outdoor floorboards.
Outdoor floorboards. We got the house and we have people very proudly say, and that is a minimal work garden. I don't have to do anything all year round.
Yeah.
Apart from this electronic sprinkler does a few of the tiny plants down the side.
And you always hear the cliche on the on home house programs, garden programs. They always say, and it brings the outside inside.
Yes,
they always say that.
I love
yeah.
that one. I tell you why, because this is what I'm worried about. It's because I've noticed I am starting to garden a bit.
Right.
It wasn't much at first, and then I started doing it more.
And you got a taste for it.
I got a real taste for it, and the lawnmower was like a gateway thing.
Yeah.
And then I was find myself getting different plant pots. It all started actually when I bought some herbs for the kitchen.
For the window.
I bought some basil, and it turns out it's done really well in my kitchen window. So it's encouraged me to start potting more herbal plants. I tell you something, before you know it, you come down and you go, look at beauty, look at you. And then I started thinking, oh my God, you've spoken to. And now I've called my basil plant Beersel, because I've tip a little bit of beer in every night. I'm getting this weird beer scented basil. It's like a most weird hybrid. I'm calling it Beersel. And I think I might leave radio and make a lot out of it with my Beersel farm.
Beersel.
Yeah, Beersel. Yesterday morning, it was a really nice sunny morning. I just sat outside. I got really early on a Sunday morning. I thought, God, and I was having a cup of tea outside. I was looking out, I was thinking, wonderful bird song. I was thinking, oh Christ, this is how it happens.
Did you have your pipe with you?
This is how it happens. I should be hung over now and in bed and hiding from sunshine like a vampire. I was outside thinking, you really get the best of the day.
Did you pull your handkerchief out from your top left pocket?
No, I didn't. I had it in my cuff. I was just telling you earlier about how the baby bloomers are to blame for a lost generation of gardeners.
Yeah.
Do you watch the Chelsea Flower Show?
If it's on and I go past it and there's something amazing to look at, I'll stop and watch, yeah.
Okay, this is my point.
Yeah.
This is my gardening thing. As I say, it starts off with a bit of gardening. And then before I know it, I've been going down the garden centres. Now I'm watching the Chelsea Flower Show. That's
Right.
going to get me even going even more, isn't it?
This is becoming a habit.
It
yeah.
is. It's a gateway show.
Do you find that sometimes it's the first thing you do in
Yes.
the morning?
In the morning, it's the first thing I do, and I've started
Gardening.
watering plants. Yeah.
Talking to the beers all.
Yeah, it's affecting my relationships. That's always the first. That's when you know things are spiralling out of control. No, but what I'm saying is I never meant this to be a hobby. I was just tidying up my property. And before you know it, you're a gardener.
You need a green plastic lawn. That'll stop you needing to mow it.
No, it's worse than that, Gav. I was looking at water butts the other day. B&Q. I stopped myself and I was thinking, oh, that's good.
And seriously thinking
I
about
was asking
it.
the guy about flow in them and
runoff.
Runoff. I think, what are you doing?
Catchment.
Just I tell you what the danger is. It's what I call faux geese. F-U-A-X. Geese.
F-A-U-X,
Like,
yeah.
you know when people get to that age, like it's sort of middle-age-ish, and suddenly they go into this sort of fake old age.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the midlife crisis like people buying a Lamborghini.
No.
It's the other way. It's like people suddenly wearing tweed.
Yeah. Knotted handkerchiefs.
Yes, and sort of suddenly saying, no, we've got a camper van.
Yeah.
And we're going off, there's nothing wrong with that. They sort of suddenly say suddenly it's hip to have a caravan.
That's right. But it's
And everyone's growing beards. And then everyone's wearing tweed.
and riding penny farthings.
And stopping at natural beauty spots to have sandwiches. You're thinking, hang on a second, what are you doing? Are you just young pensioners?
Yeah, we're in the 50s again.
Yes. and then someone will say, no, it's because you're older. But
Yeah.
at first, there comes that time where you feel a little bit hip for being old. You sort of think, yeah, it's a bit sort of, wee.
So you watch the flower show once a year.
Yes.
Do you watch other shows?
Yeah, it's like, well, this is what I was saying the other day. It's like when any Olympic sport, it's fine if it's on the Olympics.
Javelin.
Yeah, but you just don't even think about it if it's on an athletics channel. I mean, it must infuriate the guys at Eurosport. I was thinking, we don't understand it. It's got a great big audience in the Olympics.
It's the same athletes.
It's same people. It's
the same
it's
athletes.
the World Whitewater Kayaking Championship.
Oh, once watching.
We got 4 viewers. Olympics it peaked at 4.5 million. They won't watch it, but no, outside the Olympics.
My friend's mum has a friend that comes to visit her from Portugal once a year to watch Wimbledon on the telly
On the telly.
in her house in
Where do they
Surrey.
live? Do they live near Wimbledon?
Not that far, but they don't go to Wimbledon.
Hang on, wait a second. She comes just to watch Wimbledon on telly.
In the house,
In
on
the house.
telly for a couple
I
of weeks.
used to work with a Welsh guy. He used to go home at weekends to Cardiff if Wales were playing to go and watch it on telly at home.
On telly.
To watch it on telly in Wales, just for that experience.
What's the difference?
I don't know. I'm trying to think if I've got anywhere where I traditionally go and watch telly for an event.
D-O-X.
There's an article in the Mail today about smacking children.
Is it a calm and relaxed article, or is
No,
it
it's- well-
inflammatory in some way?
No, it's called for smacking children to be made illegal.
Right.
But as I've grown older, smacking has obviously become less and less of a thing. When I was a kid, we used to get beaten at school, so that's gone in.
Yep.
I've never had the need to. Ever.
I've not yet. No.
Hit my kids, but what's bizarre is that I haven't. You can always reason with them or just shout.
Yes.
Anyway, what always amazes me is that there's people out there who really campaign. You, when I was a kid, used to be really campaigning for the right to smack their kids.
They really want to.
Yeah.
I
seem to
find
be-
that so strange.
It is straight.
So
People
what's
like
your
going,
motive?
we demand the right. What right has the government got to tell me? Or what right has the government got to tell me if I can hit my kids or not?
Yeah, it's nothing to do with them. That's
They
right.
must
It's-
hate their kids.
No, but also people
the kids must be really annoying them.
People who fought. No, but that's what I mean. Is how would you feel if you're the kids of someone who's fought a lifelong battle for the right to smack his kids, and suddenly he's given that right. He goes, and I'm going to go back there tonight with these kids, and whether they've done something or not, they are going to get a clump.
I wonder if they've marched. Have they marched? The kid smackers?
Imagine that. Right to smack kids.
Yeah. When
Right
do we
to
want
smack
it?
kids.
How?
And they go, where do we want it? Where do we want it? It's not funny.
Fetch him round the ear hole.
Yeah, fetch him round the ear hole. Give him a clip now. I've got a right to give my kids a clip round the ear.
Yeah.
Can you just tell the court what the kid did, and they go, "You're right. Yeah, your kid was horrible."
Yes. And what you'd say is, believe me, if you've met my kids, you'd amend the laws. Have you driven this like that to Cornwall? Have you driven them to Cornwall? Because until you do, Your Honour, then I think you should think again about this law. Smacking children should be made illegal in the UK. Exactly. This show is not saying you should have the right to smack your kids. We're really against that.
It's unlikely you should ever need to, isn't it?
No. Stern language.
Yes.
And
loud language.
Tone. Like with pets.
Yeah.
Teachers are not allowed to smack another person's child. Parents cannot use a cane or belt to discipline their children. Well, damn right.
Who still wants to use a belt or a cane on their
my
children?
son-
Who
my-
owns a cane?
Yeah, who owns
my
a
son.
cane?
Well, we keep one handy.
Have you got a sword stick?
My son used to when he was little. He used to whenever my parents were staying or the grandparents were there. He used to, if he'd been naughty, he's got to my room. And he used to find a belt, and he'd come downstairs and go, "I bought the belt, Father." I just used to go, "Ralph, for God's sake, man, let's see." My dad used to sit there like very good parenting, very good. "I bought the belt down for you, Father."
He's funny, your son.
He's really funny. Yeah. And he got like that without me hitting him, right?
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
Afternoon, Glenn. How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you, Johnny.
Gav, how are you?
Yeah, very good.
Gav, did you used to like Lego when you were a kid, Gav?
Yes, of course I did.
Okay. I've noticed there's a change in Lego, and I can see why they did it. It's when we were kids.
Yeah.
You just had your Lego, you had all your bricks, you had all your bits.
Just bricks, yeah.
You just bricks. And there were some that were different shapes,
Yeah.
but that was it.
Yeah, you made a truck or a car.
Yeah, and
or
what
something.
Lego suddenly realised is people were just making a really crap house.
Yes.
And then
a square block.
smashing it and then building something else. But they weren't selling any more Lego. Because
Okay.
essentially the bricks you made the house with, you can make a car with.
Right.
But then they suddenly thought, I know, we'll come up with plan B. We'll make it a cross between Airfix and Lego. So you make a model of Lego and then you just keep it like that. You don't smash the bits up. So you buy
I see
more
it's
Lego.
a completed thing, yeah.
Yes, because you buy more Lego.
Of course, yeah, then you need more bits.
Yes,
That's
because
right,
they suddenly realised Lego was before endless.
Right.
In fact, I can't even imagine what we did. What did we have? It was a bag of bricks.
It was, yeah, in
Yeah.
slightly different sizes.
Make something.
Yeah, and it was, is this a window gap?
Yes.
Yes, it is. a
Here
window
are
gap.
bricks.
Yeah.
Build.
Build blocking
But now
things.
it's like specifically a Death Star.
I didn't know they'd done that, so it is just things that
Yes.
end up being one thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Were you into your Lego there, Glenn? Were you-
Yeah, definitely. And but this even then, there wasn't an agenda to it.
No, there
when
was
I used
no-
to have it. It was just I used to just make a very tall tower.
Yes.
If I
Yes.
could make Lego
That's what I
taller
did. In
than
fact,
me,
that's
that
what
was
I,
it.
Yeah,
that's what
all
I'm
we-
doing right now with my 5-year-old son. He's making really tall towers.
Yes, that's it.
All I do is worry about how stable the base is.
It doesn't say if you. yeah, exactly right.
Because he just wants to go up and up, and I
Yes.
just want to go, well, hold on. If we're going up another
And then
5
suddenly
layers,
you-
we're going to need more foundation here.
And then suddenly you realise that you are actually running out of Lego. So to make it here, you're going to have to use those really thin edge ones that were like 4 long.
Adding a millimeter at best. Yes.
No, but they would sort of stick out. Then you took these. Like, I know. I'm going to try and put one edgeways.
Yeah, you've only needed 2 of the little prongs from
Oh,
the
it's
one
when
that's
they
got
s-
6 on it.
It's
yeah.
when they stick out of a tower. It's really infuriating, like a
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
unfinished Jenga.
But
Yeah.
it gets
Yeah.
that Jenga look. Anyway, do you know what? There's one thing we haven't noticed here is in their effort to make things more complete.
Yeah.
Lego has become incredibly violent.
Really?
When the first Lego sword appeared in 1978, which surprised me. I didn't remember. I didn't see that
I
one.
don't remember a sword.
I can remember trying to make Lego into a sword using those really long edge bits. You could actually. I mean, it's always been a weapon. It could be excused. How can you have a castle set without a sword? So they could kind of palm that off. But over the years, it's now got crossbows. You got cannon, lances.
They've weaponized it.
They have. Yet now you've got Death Stars, throwing knives, laser guns. They've even got, quote, a battle-ready fire minotaur.
What?
But it says on the box, battle ready. Yeah. Just
They
take
really have-
that to a fight.
They really have weaponized it.
I think they can defend themselves if it's sort of like, well, a sword, something actually exists. But a battle-ready
Yes.
fire minotaur is something you seldom come across.
Well, what they said
yeah.
is, since the first sword was thrust into the hand of a little yellow man, the incidence of weapon bricks has increased markedly.
Wow.
That's what they described them as being. I have to say, anyone who's ever trodden on Lego late at night
Yes.
when you're going through,
That's a weapon already.
I think
isn't it?
every brick is a weapon brick.
It
For
is.
me, the agony. It doesn't matter if it's that sword. Just tread on a standard brick. It's like, yo!
Yeah, they do firewalks of Lego pieces,
Yes.
don't they? Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Don't, you're
They do.
lying.
I'm not joking.
What, you
They
can
do.
go somewhere and do a firewalk on Lego bricks?
Yeah, you can walk 10 yards of Lego bricks.
That's untrue.
I'm not
You're
joking.
just making it up.
No, I've seen it.
Are they on fire?
Radio X.
Random graffiti, seemingly meaningless. Random graffiti. Why don't you send it in to us? It all started when I saw the word lager written in large letters on a wall in Clapham Junction Station. Then you started sending in your examples of odd and often meaningless graffiti. Actually, I think lager has now been replaced as a one-worder. We were in Bristol last week, on a garage just by the station. Someone had just written the word, in New York graffiti style, wrong.
Yeah, just wrong.
Just wrong. Which was genius. Gav, what do you got for me?
Okay, this was spotted in Torquay. It just says, you forgot your flash drive.
Nice.
Jamie Masher says he found this in a gentrified yuppie pub in Peckham at the weekend. We buy things we don't need to impress people we don't like.
That's really good.
It's really deep.
But no, it says this is found in on that one. It says it's found in a gentrified yuppie pub in Peckham, and it just says someone is in a deep, dark place. How about this? In the Green Dragon in Beverley, on a toilet wall, it says, "She said I could go out." Thank you so much, whoever said that. It's just an absolute beauty. And do you know what I love about it? I love narrative. I love a bit. I love it when you get a lot of narrative in a little.
That's right.
But just that, she said I could go out. Oh man, it's a narrative king. There's so much in that. It's unbelievable. It's got massive contextual density. I'm calling it.
He's got room for a sequel.
Yeah, he definitely has.
Yeah.
Good comment. Very good comment, Glenn.
Oh my! Really?
What's his
Sorry.
name? Glyn?
Greg. Go on.
Okay, yeah, this is in Runcorn. The words were seen, it's been raining all day in Runcorn. And that's from Anthony in Runcorn. It's been raining all day in Runcorn.
Please, graffiti weather comment. It's quite good. They reckon it's going to clear up at the weekend. Just completely. Like you have shallow conversation, like nice weather.
Yes.
I love the idea of that coming into graffiti now.
I love this one from Tim in Doncaster.
Go on
He
then,
says,
Gavin. Go on, Gavin.
Eddie Murphy is a very good actor.
That's what I mean. This is exactly the way graffiti should be going, because life has become quite trite.
Yeah.
Some random graffiti I've seen. This is Tom Howard, Vancouver in Canada. If rock and roll is so great, how come it let my dog die? Come on, guys, that's mad.
That's dense.
That's got massive contextual density.
It does.
Okay, a toilet on the M6 services. You ready? This is what's written there. I found a pen.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
Oh, I got a jiggle on now. It's not pretty.
That's your moves.
That's my moves, yeah. Gav, I'm battling the move. I don't think I've got them.
No, you're all right.
Your nightmare is to look like Tony Blair, isn't it? That's every man. It's like to look like Clarkson in jeans,
In a
Tony,
shirt.
Tony
You'll
Blair
just
with his
move-
shirt. So that's
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
And for me, I've got a third one, which is the teacher from the Bash Street Kids.
Why? What does he
He
have?
just had that little. He was thin with that little cannonball belly.
Yeah.
You know that sort of cartoon belly. They just sort of stuck this cannonball in the child, and that's my fear. A comb over and that. Okay, that's what I wanted to discuss.
Go on.
I said earlier that there's controversy and debate surrounding the London Grand Prix that's coming up, right?
Yeah.
There's a London Grand Prix. It's going to go through the town, which I like. One of the things I hate about watching Grand Prix, apart from it's just tyre talk, which I'm tired of.
Yeah.
There's no way people are. I've ranted about it before, but the idea of going, but remember, he hasn't changed those tyres.
You can watch a Grand Prix in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You watch the start, you fast forward the whole lot,
Yeah,
and you watch the end.
But do you slow down for when they do change tyres? but it's the tyre changing that gets me. Just by going, but remember those tyres, they must have another couple of laps. We're going to go now to David Coulthard, who'll be telling us, I'm down with the tyres here, just looking at the tyres. And the tyres, they reckon they've got another 2 laps and they will have to come in because those tyres won't stand it.
What, you put an H in the word will?
Yeah, they will last. He doesn't really sound like that either.
You're right. The drivers can't go as fast as they want to go
Yes.
all the time.
Right.
Which is a bit annoying, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's really annoying. That's why I like watching NASCAR.
Yeah, because they're all just
'cause
nose
you
to
can
tail
sit
at
there-
200 miles an hour.
No, I can sit there at home and at least you get to see the whole race. If you go to Grand Prix, I don't know if you've ever been to Silverstone, but you may as well stand in the central reservation. You get as much idea of race. I'm not kidding.
It's like standing on a train platform where
Yes.
none of the trains stop at your station. You just get buffeted.
And also, Glenn, when you do go to a Grand Prix, you actually realise how fast these things are going. And you think, all this coverage of Grand Prix, and they just look like people just like slowly moving around the M25. I mean, you don't get any idea of speed at all. You're thinking, you got to do one shot here which lets people see how fast. Don't move the camera with it.
Now, the
'Cause you might as well
M20
be going 10 miles an hour.
The M25
Yeah.
if that was made safe for a racetrack.
Well, Gav, as we
that
come-
would be a great race.
That's what we want. Everyone starting evenly, like a marathon.
Yeah.
You just literally, there is no pole position. You just like cluster on the line. Loads of cars just there, and then behind you've got amateurs. Not such
then
good
the
roads.
Ford Transit
Just boy, a
Customs.
load of lads from Essex, all in like really chopped down. That's it. It's like mad Sunday on the 25. But Gav, I just want to get on the London Grand Prix. Just some of the places it would be hilarious to route it.
To fang it down the road.
Yeah, no, just those. I don't know if you know London very well, but round the back of Parliament Square, there are these tiny, windy roads where you can where vicars can buy their shirts and stuff. That's what they are. They're like top man, but for vicars.
So that's more like the Monte Carlo rally.
No, but
that
just
is,
a cobbled street section. We're going really slowly.
really slowly.
Just
in a Formula
one
car.
traffic light. just build us halfway through the Grand Prix, just waiting for someone there. I don't know, wherever you are, we're thinking of a British Grand Prix. And just if you want to just recommend a stretch that you
Just
think
a decent stretch anywhere in England.
No, that might be quite unsuited for it.
Yes.
Like I'd like it if the Grand Prix suddenly, I don't know, ended up in like down near Staines, just going
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Yes.
Exactly. Stonehenge, and then it comes back up through and
Brighton
it's just,
beachfront. Yeah.
Yeah, Brighton Beach. But then as it goes through Brighton, it just goes round the back and just round a little cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
Just a nice like Brookside. No, just like a nice little dressy thing. Just boom.
Stop that noise out there.
What bloody hell! There's all these Formula One motor cars going round a mini roundabout. It's just be
I think it's a great
or a
idea.
dead end. Yeah. They've all got to do a 3-point turn. So many of you have suggested great places that you'd like to see a Formula One race in Britain. I started off because they've got a London Grand Prix. Everyone's arguing about the route. But we've looked at just more interesting places to stick a bit of Formula One. That hill off the old Hovis advert. All the Formula One cars must also be fitted with car radios that play the theme music.
That's a great idea.
That's genius.
It's a
It's
really
sort of hill
good
climbing.
idea.
Gav.
This one has no name, but it's number 6433. It says F1 at Milton Keynes with all the roundabouts. Or
Yes.
somewhere with loads of speed bumps so they all get beached.
Yeah, everyone just stuck there, just going. Johnny, how about learning to how about the learning to drive track at Legoland? They could even get a Legoland medal. That'd be a great leg of it. And we've also got British Grand Prix. She goes through Albert Square and down Coronation Street. Genius.
And we've had the Blackwall Tunnel now.
yeah. Also, team, got to be an NCP 10-storey car park section. Yeah, just going through the car park.
Spaghetti Junction or a drag race in the Trafford Centre would be pleasant. That's from Evo in Guildford.
There should be a place where they get lost and everyone's got to pull over to ask directions. Yeah. Just be really good. But remember, Hackenen has trouble with the language.
The last of the Summer Wine Village with Nora Batty waving the checkered flag.
They should only get their tyres changed by normal people who would change tyres.
At Quick Fit,
yeah. So they kick your tyre and so it'll be a
That's
couple
right,
of weeks.
and they should be
couple of
sold
weeks.
an exhaust at the same time.
Well, this is what gets me, lads, is how the technology for Formula One bleeds through to the cars eventually. Like we get a turbo, but not garages.
Yeah.
So they get to fill up a car like, it's full up. We have to stand there for like an hour
Yeah.
with the thing wedged in.
Yeah.
And I just think we need a pit lane at petrol stations.
Johnny Vaughan.
Radio
X.
Radio X.
Gav, I just want to ask you, we get a lot of texts in about your body.
Let's get physical. I wanna get physical. Let's get into physical.
How do you stay looking like you look? Because you don't care about diet.
Well, it's mainly bacon.
Is it?
Yeah, bacon, tea.
Because a lot of dietitians don't recommend rooting a diet in bacon, building it around bacon.
I have and obviously real butter.
Yeah.
I have a strict regime of lying down a lot.
Okay.
On the sofa.
Is that
when
to
I'm at
allow
home.
for muscle wastage?
Correct. I very rarely sit.
Yeah.
If there's an opportunity to be not standing,
Yeah.
I'm lying.
You take it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that helps with your six pack particularly.
Do you think what I try and do is get the muscle to waste underneath the thin layer of fat?
That's
And
how you
what
get the
want is,
illusion of slimness.
As
yeah.
the muscle wastes down, you increase the fat, so you remain at constant
that's right.
constant volume. Is that working for you?
Yeah, because your silhouette looks slim.
Yeah.
But your BMI is high.
Well, Gav, as I said on Friday, now high BMI is very healthy.
That's what I'm aiming for, John. I like to be slightly moobed.
Okay, can I ask you, how do you keep your moobs just under the moobing threshold, so they just remain like they're about to happen?
Well, what I do is when I'm walking,
Yeah.
if I sense movement,
Yeah.
I know I've hit it just right.
Okay.
Yeah, if they don't move,
I thought you meant just you moving.
no,
Okay.
while I'm walking,
Okay.
if there's movement in the moob area,
Okay, then that's
without flexing,
yeah, you
then
won't stop
I know
at the
I've got
sweet
just
shop.
the right consistency, like a souffle.
Okay, okay. Is that how you see yourself as a souffle? Yeah.
A souffle made of granite.
Okay, nice one. So you build your diet essentially around bacon.
Bacon, toast,
Okay.
and tea.
I mean, you tend to. I mean, I'd say you rather proudly parade any lack of tan at all.
That's
how
right,
do you
yeah.
keep that? What I call that jail cell pallor.
Well, you're
No, how
talking
do you
about
keep that Wandsworth tan?
or almost Scottish levels of pale blue.
Yes. How do you do that?
I just avoid the sun, John.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is that hard though? With
Yeah,
kids
I wear
going
one
out
of those. I wear one of those umbrella hats
there? Okay. Nice.
all the time.
You recommend bacon and floppy hats.
Yeah, and lie down a lot.
Okay. Gav will be back with more diet tips later to get that body beach beautiful.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Gav. It was really insightful.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Because I look at you sometimes and I see you're like me. We're centro bass. We've got short legs and quite long bodies.
Yeah, we're all torso.
But if we get too bellied up, we just look like an embryo.
X. This is Radio X.
This is extraordinary. You ready?
Go on.
Swarm traps Queen in car boot.
Well, the band.
No.
Should I be leading with this
No,
on the
it's
news?
not the Queen either. It's not the Queen or the band.
Okay.
With Brian May, Roger Taylor, when are the surviving members of Queen going to be chased into a car boot?
I don't know. Brian May's hair looks like a wasp's nest.
Yes, you're right. It could be a swarm of badgers.
Yeah.
It's turned on him.
Yes.
People digging around his house. Yes, you're right. You never know. Is it a swarm of badgers? I don't know. Not really, because they can't fly.
No.
A grandmother was followed by a swarm of bees after their queen got trapped in the boot of her car.
Oh, the Queen Bee.
Yes. Carol Howarth told of her amazement. This swarm has descended on her Mitsubishi 4x4. 20,000 insects on the boot.
What?
Yeah, I know. Line. 3 beekeepers, a national park ranger, and passers-by helped capture the swarm. I have to tell you, plucky.
Yeah, how'd you capture a swarm?
Well,
You don't just hold a bin bag up and
no,
swap
I'll
them
tell you
in
what
there.
you do. It's possible that, here's the deal. I'll take you through the story.
Go on.
What happened was 3 beekeepers, a national park ranger, and passers-by helped capture the swarm. She was away from the car shopping. Then she drove off. And these thousands of bees had just started following her car. She said, "It was incredible, really. I've never seen anything like it. It just goes to show you the power of nature." And then, I don't know if she talks like that actually at all.
I was just picturing her looking in her rearview mirror,
Yeah.
all these bees coming.
trying to lose them as well. You shake you off.
You wouldn't think they're going for the car. You'd take it personally. Like those bees are after you.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly right.
but
You wouldn't,
you get-
or you thought, what have I bought shopping? Have I bought something that's putting out an odour here? Is there something in my sillet bang they haven't told me about? But it says it, in her absence and after being notified by a passing national park ranger. That's handy, isn't it?
It is handy.
The rescuers managed to coax the swarm into a box. I know they coaxed it. But Mrs. Howarth did not realise until the next day some of the bees had evaded capture. Apparently bees can swarm at this time of year. It's a very strong instinct for them to follow the Queen. As it is indeed for all British people. But you know what? The guy who's doing it, is Roger Burns, the guy who managed to just put the swarm in the box. This is amazing. In fact, the Queen got trapped in the boots. They've all followed. But this guy, right, he's just so cash about this.
Yeah.
Have you been stung by a bee?
I have, yeah.
Well, I would use the F word before the word agony.
I've never been stung.
Yeah, no, it really
No,
hurts.
it really does.
Yeah, I got stung in between the fingers. That was really painful.
I got stung once on the chin by a hornet.
Really?
Yeah. And my whole face swelled up so enormously. I was meant to be filming the second half of this show that afternoon, but I had to do the whole show looking away slightly because my whole chin swelled up. It was massive. Listen to this guy. Check this guy. Ready? I got about 15 or 20 stings for my trouble.
Wow.
I then left the cardboard box on the roof while we waited for the last few hundred to leave the boot. Then a gust of wind blew it off and the Queen may have fled back into the boot again.
Oh, no.
Imagine that. You got a box with 18,000 bees in it. You've been stung 15 times. You stick it on the roof thinking hopefully they'll go in there and the wind just blows it off. Talk about a spillage. It's like,
Start again, yeah.
Oh, no. They're going to start again. You're looking at your 15 or 20 stings.
She must have been paranoid when they followed her.
They must have been.
She must have been like Ray Liotta in Goodfellas when
Yes.
that helicopter was on.
down, just looking out. Like a Spitfire pilot looking for the enemy.
Yeah.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
So was that heavy breathing at the end? Was that me or who was doing that?
That was you.
No, it wasn't me. Glenn, breathe.
Absolutely not. Wait.
Gav,
Wasn't me.
go on, try. That was you, definitely. It was your
Was
breath.
it?
I can tell your breath, yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah. I heard Woods earlier say it was him. Gav, let's have a hero.
Okay.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down.
We love a tale of maritime mishaps, don't we, on this show?
We certainly do.
Okay, well, I've found the worst ever navigator on the oceans.
Okay.
This is a man called Eric, and then in quotes, the Navigator
Okay.
Abbott.
Okay.
He had to call the lifeboats out 11 times.
Oh.
He was a 56-year-old unemployed house painter. He set sail in a homemade yacht
Nice.
in July 1999, blaming an unfair taxation system that he had to force him out to sea to find himself. He used...
Is that what he said?
Yes, and for navigation, guess...
Wait a second, Gav. Let me get this straight.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. A guy has blamed his sailing on his being forced out by tax.
Yes.
It's a great thing to blame, isn't it?
In a homemade yacht. Well, guess what he used as a map to get himself around the open waters of the
What?
ocean? An AA road map.
No.
And he was giving rescuers a rough approximation, as it calls it here, of where he was. Phoning the emergency services, he said, "I can see mountains,"
Is that what he said?
or "I'm near a light."
I'm near a light.
The local commodore of the Rill Yacht Club that had to help him out once
Always so
said,
pompous.
"I don't think we've ever had a guy this bad." He said.
Wait, is that what he said?
They gave him honorary membership.
And that's a Welsh yachtsman.
The most regular customer radioed for advice. Holyhead Coast Guards recognised his voice immediately and launched both inshore boats straight away. Despite their efforts to divert him, he still missed the river. He said, "I was spot on with my map readings. It was just coming into the harbour where it went wrong."
Nice. And he used the AA Road Atlas to negotiate
He
the
used
British
a road
coast.
atlas,
He used a road
So
atlas.
there was no charts whatsoever.
They're bad on water.
Eric-
Well, they're not meant for that.
Eric the Navigator Abbott.
Eric the Navigator Abbott. The Johnny Vaughan 407 thing. Salute you.
Radio
X. Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
I was looking at a picture of Johnny Depp in the papers today, and this is a bit depressing because he's older than me, and he looks great, and he's the man that men will say. Well, you know, he's a good-looking boy, right?
He is, yeah.
And he also does films that are good. And
Yes.
he's discerning, and he's self-deprecating.
He doesn't watch himself in films.
He's got a rock band.
Yes.
Plus, he never looks vain. Now, this is the key point about him. I've long had a theory that the reason Johnny Depp never made any effort
Yeah.
when he was like doing film promotions, because firstly, his films are good.
Yes.
He hasn't particularly got to sell them.
Yeah.
But secondly, is that he didn't want to look
Too perfect.
because otherwise it's just too much.
He's too pretty, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you an equivalent. I'm really loud, yeah,
Yeah.
and sort of conspicuous figure.
Mm.
If I also had like a red Ferrari,
Yeah, it'd be all too much.
Right.
Yeah, I got you. Yes.
right?
Yeah, I like that
Ex
image.
uno disque omnes, right?
Yeah.
So Johnny Depp, if he also did that, that's like me getting out of a Ferrari. All right, guys,
It's too much. You're right.
yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford one, but that's why I drive around in used cars. Sorry, that's why I drive a pre-owned car. But anyway, I was looking at Johnny Depp in the papers today, and what's happened to the guy?
I know, he looks like Mikey Carroll, the lottery winner.
He is.
suddenly.
He's starting like maybe that's what he's lining up for, Gav. Seriously,
He's looking really jowly. And
he's looking
kind of,
like he could well have a stock car track in Swaffham, Norfolk. I've given £1 million to Rangers Football Club, and wear a clown on a chain round his neck.
He's missing part of his face, and I don't know which bit of a face it is.
No,
the
but you-
eyebrows, the eyelids.
No, you're absolutely right. He's missing a bit, but you don't know quite which. But you look at it, mate, and they have had their eyebrows shaved off, and for a while it takes you. But the eyebrows are there, so I don't know what it is, Glenn. But valid point.
and he looks like he's teased his hair quite carefully into a kind of
Well,
a
that's
style.
my point.
Yeah, he's trying now.
Well,
is
we
what
saw
you're
him at the
saying,
premiere the other night, and I was surprised that he'd made the effort, which means he must be aware that he's getting like what I call Kilmer's syndrome.
Yeah, he's lost a bit of pace.
Well, you know, like when you look at when
In
you
the
he's
look,
lost a yard of
in the
pace.
looks, he's lost a bit of pace.
In fact, if it was an acting school now, it'd be like Masters Football.
That's right.
Where they're asking to be substituted. Just tell me your anyway,
Both hamstrings are gone.
it is almost 20 Rothman on the touchline. But the point about it is, we saw him the other night for on the premiere of Alice Through the Looking
Yeah,
Glass.
on the red carpet, yeah.
And we were worried.
Yeah,
because
it didn't look
even
like
from
him.
up here, we could see he'd made the effort, which worries me. But in the paper, I just think he's got a touch of Val Kilmer syndrome.
The puffiness.
Is he going to get that big old Kilmer face?
He might.
I just want to say, Johnny, if you're listening, remember, you're holding out a lot of hope for people who are just a bit younger than you. And we look at you as, well, Johnny Depp seems to be doing all right.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then who's going to do it for us?
Yeah.
So, Johnny, please, get down the gym.
Eat some rice cakes, Johnny.
Get down the gym. I'll take you through my routine.
Radio
X.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
At the very top of the hour, I promised you the headline of the day. I've got it. I've saved it right to the end because I know, I just wanted to keep the audience. Invasion of giant bats brings hell to town. I know, it's such a great headline, isn't it?
It is.
Invasion of giant bats.
Sounds like a movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it's an Australian town. It's reduced to breaking point by the sudden arrival of, get this, 100,000 giant bats.
100,000?
Yes. 100,000. That's a lot. That's a
in
lot
one
of
go.
bat.
Yeah.
It's a lot of bat.
That's a Wembley of bats.
It is a Wembley. It should be called that, Gav. It's a Wembley of bats. You're exactly right. Oh, generally we measure bats by the Wembley.
Yeah.
Anyway, the point is that this town in Australia, they're doing something that I consider genius. They spent £3 million with deafening noise, pulsating bright lights, and smoke in the tiny coastal town of Bateman's Bay. They're just putting on a rave, essentially.
Yeah, a festival, yeah.
So that's all you got to do if you want to put on a rave in Australia. Just get some bats in. So we're just repelling them. They just happen to be dancing to it.
What happens if that ends up attracting loads of people?
Yes, like 100,000 people.
Yeah.
And they'll take a bat each in their party bags. Problem gone. You just,
Party bats.
That's a party bats. That's it. Just if you want it on the way out. What gets me about this is it just shows in Britain, if there's just like one bat,
Yeah.
you may as well just literally just leave the house to them.
Yeah, you're
If
not
you've
allowed
got
to do
one
anything.
bat in a barn, you may as well just say, I'll just donate it to the RSPCA. now.
Yeah, you need a 1 mile
Take
exclusion
it,
zone.
just have all my money.
Yeah.
Because bats have got more rights. If you want to really get some rights, become a bat or a newt. They got a lot of rights.
Radio X. Johnny Vaughan.
What do you fancy here, Gav? Python toilet attack or sheep rampage?
Let's hear about the python.
Okay, you can have you got the python and the Kazi. This is every person's idea of a nightmare. Now, I have to say, I last read a story like this. I now check the Kazi before I look in because I heard about a rat doing a similar thing, and also a snake doing it in a street full of old people in Bournemouth. But here you go: a Thai man using a toilet at his home was savaged by an 11-foot python that had slithered into the bowl.
Right.
I got to say, it's quite a bowl he's got there.
Yeah. 11 foot.
If you could hide 11 foot of python and call it, I guess he didn't put the lights on. It must have been one when you go in the night. He was savaged by this. It slithered into the bowl. Athaporan Bumachakwe, 38, tried to break free. That's how bad it was. Imagine breaking free from sitting on a Kazi.
Yeah, that
Breaking.
sounds horrendous.
Well, I tell you why he had to break free, because it sank its fangs into his woo. Yes, woo. That's dangling and whoa, yo. Literally, it's cut to exterior shot of house in a film. Cut to literally, man sits down. Cut to exterior.
Yeah.
Scream.
Yeah.
Gardener stops gardening.
Cut back to yes, reaction shots. Cut to a gardener, someone 2 miles away looking up at the sky.
Yeah.
Cut back to man's face on luge going, just with sweat coming down, thinking how to disengage the beast. It sank his fangs into its at the house east of Bangkok, which brings a whole new meaning to the word. Yeah. He suffered a substantial loss of blood and was taken to hospital. The snake was recovered from the pipework and is expected to be released back into the wild. One word for that: don't. Because he might have, and I hate to say this, imagine if he got a taste. And that was now what he recognised as his favourite quarry. You don't need that, and you're keeping that in the gene pool. That snake then kicks that in when it breeds.
So you end up with toilet pythons.
Yeah,
everywhere.
toilet pythons.
It's the plumbing thing that bothers me most because it means closing the door, closing your windows. That's not enough.
That's not enough. No.
No.
You got to put the loose seat down and check. I heard it happens in London sometimes with rats. And once it happened in Bournemouth, someone's let their snake go and it kept popping up. In different loos in this road. But get this. No, this was what the weird
It's
thing.
a sort of toilet whack-a-mole.
No, yeah, it was, yeah. But here's the weird thing. That's what I thought. But here's the weird thing. There was 49 houses in this road. And I thought at the time, that's a lottery format, isn't it? 7 snakes down the Kazi.
Yeah.
Plus a bone. You got the thunder snake comes up at the end. And you
Yeah.
just wait for the pensioners to go. And you go, number 6 has gone there. Perfect lottery format. So much better than just pulling balls out the bag, isn't it? Out the thing. In a manner of speaking, I've gone wrong here. I'm in a world of trouble.
Johnny Vaughan. Radio X.
Radio X.
That was the Johnny Vaughan podcast. We still can't decide. Are you ready for this noise? You have to decide, is this Vinny near the mic or Chewbacca from Star Wars miles away? That was you, Vin, because I could feel your breath.
And his hands for some